What's going on, guys? My name's Kieran. So today I'm just going to give you a quick introduction to the program. I just want to start off by saying a huge thank you for investing your time and energy into going on to this 16-week journey with us. I'm super excited to see how everyone's going to progress in the next 16 weeks leading up to that 2K test. So if you have downloaded the app already and you've got the program loaded on, you will have seen that we're going to kick off with 2 benchmark workouts. So that is really important when we're trying to measure progression, just to start with a line in the sand of just saying, okay, here's the starting point. This is where we're going to move on from. Super important that we complete the 3-part testing and the 30-minute rate 20. Don't use a score that you've done, maybe a month ago, 2 weeks ago, etc. The way the program is set up is that the 30 rate 20 is going to determine all of your training zones and target splits for the next 4 weeks. So don't worry about where you're at right now. We're just going to start with these benchmarks, and then that's where we're going to build on from as we go into this first 4-week block. So once we've got the 30 rate 20 score, that's going to set our training zones, and obviously those zones are going to follow a certain schedule. So the way it's going to work is that we're going to do 2 days on, 1 rest day, 3 days on, and then another rest day. Okay, so the way it's set up is we're going to have your UT2 bike, then your UT1 erg, then a rest day, then your threshold erg, then your longer UT2 erg, and then on that final day of 3, we're going to do some power strokes, and then finish that session off with a UT2 bike before the next rest day. It's really important that we keep the rest days the same and that we keep everything in that order. The way the program is structured the way it is so that we're not doing all the hard sessions back to back, and we're not doing all the volume back to back either. So it's very carefully prescribed that we want you to do those sessions at those intensities on those days. If you miss a day for any reason, it's really easy through the app, is just to click in the calendar on the top right hand corner, and you can jump back to any day that you might have missed. You will see on pretty much all of the workouts, especially the UT2 and the UT1, is that you have a range of splits to aim for. So I just want to make it clear that training anywhere in that range is fine. The reason there is a range is for you to decide on that day how you're feeling and what kind of intensity you're going to work at. So it's not a huge range. It's not like one is much easier than the other, but you have days where you feel great, you have days where you're a little bit more fatigued. So it's just giving you that option that if you need to back off slightly on one day, you can, and if you want to push on slightly another day, you also can. What I will say is that in, say, the UT2 sessions or the UT1 sessions where we have 2 or 3 intervals, is that we either stay consistent with the split or you get faster as you go into the second and third piece. What we never want to do in any part of this program is go slower through a session. So much of performing well on testing like the 30 rate 20 and the 2K is just knowing how to pace the effort, knowing what you're capable of, so what split you're able to sit on, and then what you're able to push onto at the end. So almost every session on the program is a chance for you to measure how consistent you can be and how efficient you can be on a certain split that you might want to be able to push on from. So those split ranges are there for you, and that's for you to make that decision on a daily basis. But one thing we all need to be doing every single session is just either consistent or faster, but not getting slower as we go through the session. So about 90 to 95% of this program is not about going flat out. It's just about real consistency, just ticking the box off for every session. Some sessions will be easy, some sessions will be a little bit harder, some sessions will feel uncomfortable. But for almost every single one, apart from a few exceptions, you have a target that you need to sit on, and you should be able to meet that target, okay? So we really want to be consistent, because this consistent, good quality training and good quality recovery that's what adds up to kind of much more by the time we get to the end of this 16 weeks, when it really counts on that 2K performance. Okay, so some days you'll want to feel like you could go harder, but I mean, it's just really about having that discipline to just stay on the splits that you've been given, stick to the targets, and make those easy days easy. So then when we come to a hard day, then we have more energy and more effort to be able to put into those hard sessions to hit those splits that we're looking for as well. I know it's really easy sometimes to get on erg and think, okay, these splits feel way too comfortable, I'm just going to push on. But in each 4-week block, what we're looking for as we go through those 4 weeks is that if you keep training on the same split, that split becomes easier and easier. So we'll do it for a lower heart rate, we'll do it for a lower rate of perceived exertion, and that's how we become more efficient, and that's what pays off at the end of this 16-week block. Okay, so if there's sessions where you feel they're too easy, you just got to stick with it. Just be disciplined. Just keep ticking those boxes, and every time you tick a box off, it means we just made that incremental improvement. And think of all those little incremental improvements are going to add up to a huge amount by the time we get to that 2K test. So overall, we're just looking for good quality training, consistency, good recovery, good movement, and just keep ticking those boxes. I think these first 2-3 weeks probably not going to be the most challenging training you've ever had, but it's just about setting that standard for consistency. So if we can just keep ticking those boxes of good movement, good quality training, then we're laying really solid foundations to be able to build on from. Okay. Whereas if we're not training in the right zones, we're doing the UT2 and the UT3 too hard, or we're going too hard on the bike, then ultimately that's going to detract from those harder sessions where we want to be able to push on. Okay. So we're trying to have that big difference between the easy sessions and the hard sessions, and just stay disciplined, as we said earlier. Because again, as we said, if you add up all those little improvements, that's how we're going to get to a huge improvement by the end of those 16 weeks. So let's set some good foundations. I'm really excited to see how people are going to progress over the course of this program. That's all from me for now, and I will see you in the next video.